personally think that trends maybe are a little bit overrated and that you should just fill your house with things that you like. I think a home filled with treasures that were intentionally picked because they bring you joy. The things that you like will find bridges to connect together.
Hi, I'm Billy.
And I'm Lacey.
And this is our Handmade Home in Knoxville, Tennessee.
We grew up in Smith Valley, Nevada, so we were actually really far away. We dated in high school and then we broke up and went to college. Billy joined the Marine Corps. We got married my senior year of college.
So we got married in 2011. Randomly bought a house in Knoxville, Tennessee in 2013. Lacey had never been to the state of Tennessee before we even owned a house here.
7 years we lived there?
7 years, I would say, we lived in our first house, which is right down the hill from here. And it's 130 years older than this house.
This is our living room, and I love the windows. They're probably my favorite part because they're such a good view of the forest. So we put the most windows in this room because it has one of the best views of, in the fall when the leaves are gone, you can see the Smoky Mountains, which is kind of fun.
I'm in commercial construction.
I'm a potter. I started Sutton Ceramics when my daughter was real little, selling pottery. But then a few years ago, I opened a store called Whimsy and a Dream. And so we sell vintage things that we find. We have 16 other local artists that sell their work there as well, so it's fun. So the sconces I found in an estate sale, and I remember thinking it was very odd. The whole estate sale was just like jewelry and hundreds of pairs of shoes and randomly these wall sconces. Billy was not incredibly thrilled at first to install them.
I said we have overhead lights, why do we need lights on the walls? But I wired them in and there they are, and we like them. We use them often.
We actually bought this property. It came with the other house, so they're actually connected. So when we sold that house, we kept this lot to build on.
When we decided to move out of the other house, it was tough because it was a passion project. However, we looked at the realization of time and money to put into that house while living in it and realized that maybe if we walk away from this one and start fresh, someone else can have a vision in the pocketbook to go ahead and finish this house, and we can build exactly what we want and move forward from there. For the most part, we built this house by ourselves. Had a lot of help from my friends when they were available. However, the people that bought our old house had crews come in and we beat them. So we got the house done before they did. The race was on.
This is my absolute favorite color, this kind of ochre chartreuse color. Not his favorite, but he puts up with it
That's
for
fine.
me.
It makes sense in here. So you have that, and then the kind of weird cabinet thing that's been 4 different colors, but this is where we're at now.
It was actually this color until we found the couch, and then it was too much of a good thing.
I would say for the most part, her style is, I'm not going to say loud, but a little more artsy than I would be used to. I am definitely a function over form person, so finding the happy balance of how she wants it to look and be designed and how I want it to work is always there. So for the most part, I think when the end project is there and it's all done, I think she's done a fantastic job with her colors and designs, and that's why after 12 years I've decided to quit asking questions and just go ahead and, all right, I know this is going to look right, even though I don't think so. You can see the vision, I can't, and we'd move from there.
That's a putz house. I like making recycled cardboard houses. They're fun for holidays. I took one pottery class in college and really liked it. I just planned to take it for fun. At the time I was studying film photography and drawing, which was really what I thought I would do. But after having babies, I realized locking them in a dark room full of chemicals for 10 hours a day was not acceptable, but I could wear a baby in a backpack and throw pottery, and that was a good creative outlet with them.
See, this is the pantries behind us. We're in technically the kitchen. When we built the house, this wall was intentionally made for this piece of furniture, which Lacey's father made when he was in high school, I believe. It kind of goes with us, and it's so big that you have to plan for that ahead of time.
I don't believe in decor that doesn't get used.
People ask about her pottery, oh, can I put coffee in this? And her big thing is, yes, it's real dishes, it's just a piece of art also. Everything that we have is meant to be used. It's not just sitting there. All of our dishes get used, and broken. We have children, they break things, and what's nice when they break a mug, Lacey can always make us a new one if we need to.
It's true. I do love animals. I think animals are just so whimsical and fun, and I do put them in pottery a lot. I think most people can relate to feeling joy when they see animals and plants and nature, so that's a lot of my inspiration when I make things. I just love little funky knobs. I've got like a little beetle and owl and some fun things. When I see a knob that's really cute, I've collected them for years, so none of my knobs ever match. They're always all
None of our dishes match, none of our hand towels match, and I kind of look ridiculous when I go to the store for Christmas or Lacey's birthday, and I'll buy 4 different bowls, not from the same collection. It gives you a little excitement throughout the day, just little things like that. When we sit down at dinner with our family, or we have friends over, nobody has the same plate. Sometimes they have the same forks.
I think most people feel a little twitchy when things don't match and go together, and if too many bath towels that are all the same, it makes me feel a little twitchy. I think the best things come secondhand, so most of our things we've acquired from thrift stores and estate sales and just wanderings. But yeah, I like a good mix of used and old things. I think it adds a lot of character and warmth to a space. So I really wanted open shelves just because as a potter I really love dishes. It's a fun way to kind of showcase collections. They're a little bit more of upkeep because you need to keep them dusted, but it's fun to be able to change things out with the seasons and really change the feel of the room just based on what things you choose to put away and what things you bring out. For some reason, it both feels modern and traditional at the same time. I feel like really old kitchens oftentimes were dark, like emerald greens and navy blues. And I feel like in more recent times, they've been white. And so I wanted something a little darker just to feel a little more unique and a little more cozy. So these wallpaper panels I was really drawn to because they're an artist's rendering of a Victorian era tapestry design. I really loved the color and the texture that they brought. For me, when it's in a large scale, it felt a little bit too traditional, so I broke it up into 2 pieces and I put one panel of it in the pantry and one in the entryway when you first walk in. And when we brought the kids in after the drywall went up, it was like the first time to them it looked like it may be a house someday. and just watching their excitement running through the house, having actual, rooms.
And that's when Lacey's vision really starts coming together, when she says that's why, this wall will be here and this is how we're going to do this. And when you get everything kind of smooth and flat, she can really start running through her head on colors.
At that point, so.
She's got colors in her head and she's excited about how this is all going to go together. So that was a big deal. This is kind of where the dining room needed to go, and that's kind of where it just fell. But just like everything downstairs between the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room, it doesn't matter where anybody was or is in this space, you can be together still and talk, and it all kind of flows together, and it makes it so you can be in the kitchen cooking and talking to people in the dining room or the living room, and it's the whole open concept idea that made sense. And this is a good spot for eating breakfast. You got a couple good windows here and see the trees.
I like that this wall kind of divides it so you don't see it when you first walk in, because we do a lot of crafts and things with the kids and this table is usually a disaster, so it's nice that it's not the first thing you see when you walk into the house. So when I was painting and I wanted to do the navy in the kitchen, and it kind of trailed into the dining room, and I really didn't want to finish it on a corner because I felt like it seemed a little bit harsh. So I did the curve to kind of do a nod to the circles and the medallions and the light fixtures to make it a little bit more organic ending.
I thought the arch was kind of odd at first, but then she painted it and I think it looks great. Most of the light fixtures are round in some way, shape, or form, but the overall structure of the house, everything's square. So it's a rectangle of a house, it's a single pitch roof, so everything's straight lines, which makes it easy for me to build, and then she can add accents of curved things.
I found secondhand some ceiling medallions, and I really liked the juxtaposition between the very traditional and ornate medallions with the kind of more streamlined modern light fixtures. I think it's kind of quirky, and it's kind of the whole style of the house, in my opinion, is trying to bring some warmth and history to a new and modern design. Probably my 2 favorite things are these paintings. One's an antique oil pastel that's kind of fallen apart, but I think it's really pretty. And it's of the ocean, which reminds me of when we first were married. Billy was stationed in Oceanside, California, so that's kind of fun. And then this other oil painting's from the 1920s, but it's of East Tennessee, so it's kind of like both of our homes. Those are real eggs from the chickens.
We have our cat and our dog and our bunny rabbit, who's kind of a shop bunny rabbit. He travels, he goes to work with Lacey every day. And then we have a handful of chickens and a peacock. More peacocks to come, I think. So it's kind of a farm inside the city, but we grew up on farms, so, and we like having fresh eggs. And eggs that come from happy chickens. And that's a big deal to us.
The kids kiss the chickens to thank them for the eggs. It's pretty cute. This is our stairwell, and oddly enough, it's probably our favorite room in the house, even though it's not really a room. It gets the best sunlight. We have kind of a break in the trees, so it kind of glows during the day, which is fun.
It just kind of brings both of our styles together into one spot. It's very tall when you're going up the stairs because we left the ceiling full height, and a lot of light comes in there because we have a couple large windows. When we were building the house, the stairwell didn't exist. It was just kind of, it looked like an empty shaft. It had a ladder in there for a very long time until I built the stair treads and finally started getting stairs. There was really no plan with the stairwell from the get-go. It just, we know we have to have a stairwell, and we kind of rolled with it, and we wanted to incorporate more steel into the house, and the easiest way to do that was for me to weld up a handrail.
I have always loved vintage frames. Over the years I've collected quite a few, and this was a fun opportunity to kind of incorporate them all together. And it's a lot of candid snapshots, some drawings of mine, and a couple of vintage paintings and things as well.
Well, let's head upstairs and see what's going on up there. So this is our bedroom here, and it's not a very large footprint of a bedroom. However, Lacey decided that she wanted a taller ceiling here to kind of match the downstairs tall ceilings. So we have 11-foot ceilings in here, and it makes it feel a lot larger than it is. And we wanted to add some big windows, so we have like this big window. That window header is built where I can turn it into a door and possibly put a porch out there someday. Just like any project, you're not always done. You just need a couple more days to get something done, and a couple more days to get something done. So that's just kind of how it is in here. And we love that we can see the mountains in the winter, and in the summer, it's nothing but trees out there. Well, I grew up on a farm, so being able to fix things and build things was a necessary evil. From a very young age, you learn that if it's broken, you got to be able to fix it. Where we grew up, we were very far from a hardware store or a lumberyard, so you would make do with what you had. You become very innovative. And here it's a lot easier because we're 4 miles from the lumberyard.
We chose to do this green in here because both of our favorite color lays somewhere in the greens family. So it feels most kind of at home and cozy to us. And just wanted it to really feel comfortable and like a place of rest. So the dark color is kind of cocoony, kind of feels cozy, and filled it with my favorite found art pieces. It's our happy place. And I originally was gonna paint the ceiling green also, and actually that was one of the things that you said, no, we don't need a green ceiling in our bedroom.
So the color of our bedroom is pretty much my favorite color, olive drab green. That was one that she gave me 2 choices. The first choice was, what color is the couch?
Baby poop green.
What's the real color of the couch?
Like a chartreuse.
Chartreuse. I don't know what that color is, but when she shows me a paint chip of chartreuse, I say no. And then she gave me the option of the color that is our bedroom, and I said, I can deal with that. And she wanted to paint the ceiling that color also, but I figured we'd just be in a big green box. So we decided against that, and it worked out all right.
My favorite part of the room is this art wall. There's some of my favorite paintings. I think this lady here is probably my oldest original painting, and they're just special. Enjoy them. So when we decided to use the attic space to make the ceilings tall, I really also wanted it to continue into our bathroom, which really... I
thought was kind of ridiculous. I still kind of do, but overall it's kind of neat when you go into a small bathroom and it's crazy tall. You're taking a shower and you feel like you're almost outside because the ceilings are so tall. So it's kind of a neat thing, and Lacey did all the marble tile in there, and she did all the tile in the house pretty much. So she did a great job on the tile in the bathroom.
Well, thank you.
I want another chance at building another house because there's certain things in here, like I think we did a great job with what we had and the time frame we had and the budget we had. But there's things, once you live in a place, you realize, oh, we could have done that differently, or we should have added this, or we didn't need that. So doing it again would be kind of neat.
Also, now that we're finished, it kind of feels like it'd be fun to do it again.
I don't know what it's like not to have a major project taxing my brain and my schedule, so we can only settle in for so long, I think. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
And subscribe to Handmade for more just like it.